Good morning, everybody, and welcome to our webinar of this morning that will talk you through the CENELEC collaboration platform. Please bear in mind that you are all muted this morning. So yes, I forgot to tell you, my name is Els and I will be moderating this webinar. As I said, you will all be muted during the webinar, so you are free to enter your questions in the question and answer panel of the GoToWebinar control panel. And should you be on Twitter, you're of course free to tweet about this webinar. I would like to inform you as well that today at 11 o'clock we have a fire siren test, so please do not worry about us. Everything's fine, it's just a test. We will not leave the building. So now it's time to introduce you the speaker of today. You will be guided through all this by Melanie, my colleague at IT, who is an expert concerning the collaboration platform. So please, Melanie, the floor is yours.
Good morning, everybody. So first I will go quickly through a small agenda so that you kind of more or less know what to expect. So we have a small introduction, then I will say a few words about accesses. Then I will be presenting your dashboard on the collaboration platform, a technical committee workspace, and then I will inform you where you can find any training material and documentation, where you can receive support if needed, and then we will have a question time after the presentation. So first, the collaboration platform is it can be accessed via the web link collaborate.iec.ch, or you can also have a link directly on the CENELEC website. It's still showing as collaboration tools, but you can just click, it will guide you to collaboration platform. So your login and password are the same for IEC if you have IEC login password, CENELEC, or some national for those who have access for your national committees. And your workspace depends on your access permission, which is given on the expert management system, as was done in the past for the collaboration tools. So a quick word on accesses. So there's 3 types of accesses for the collaboration platform. The first one is the editor access, which is a full write access, which is granted to officers, so conveners, TC secretary, chairman, and CCMC staff. So this access allows you to create folders, upload documents, move or delete all folders or documents, including those that you have not yourself posted. So this can be handy if you taking over, for example, a group, a technical committee, for example, and you wish to make some cleaning, some tidying on the workspace. Then there's an author access, which is a limited write access. So that is granted to NC officials, members, and observers. So with this type of access, you can create folders, you can upload documents, and you can move or delete your own folders or documents, but you cannot move or delete someone else's. And then finally, the last access is the reader access. So it's a reading only access that is granted to national participants, and this access only allows you to read documents and download whatever you want to download. For example, if you have a zip file, so it's not possible to open the zip file online and read the content online, so you can download the zip file to read the content of the zip file. Now we'll go onto the platform, onto the test platform to guide you through your workspace and see how we can make it comfortable for you. So we're now on the test platform. So this is my workspace. So I only have a CENELEC card because I only have access to CENELEC groups. And then you can see there's different type of cards. So we'll go through all of them to see what's interesting in there, how you can arrange your workspace. So you have also on the side a menu, which is the same, giving you the same option as the cards. So you've got the little the dashboard, the workspace, the favorites, the documents, discussions, tasks, information, and settings. And then you have also here on top as well, just a little, you can expand the little menu if you don't remember what all these icons means. Then you can have a look and check in a more easier way what they are. But it is quite easy to use. So first we will go to my settings. So here in my settings, we've got something quite interesting. I'm afraid that the resolution of the picture is a bit weird, but well. So you've got your dashboard settings here. So you can decide what you want to show on the dashboard or not. So you can check or uncheck the cards, and then they will disappear from the dashboard. So if you find that there's too many and some of them are not really interesting. Then you have the workspace description. So this is something interesting. So for those who connected for the first time, you are prompted to arrange your settings. So what you need to do basically is go to your workspace descriptions and choose what subscriptions you would like to receive or not. You can have them all disabled like I have, or you can choose just by clicking on modify and what group you would like to receive the weekly notification for. So then once you have, so it's just little button that you can click to activate or deactivate, and then once done, you can save, and then you have the little message prompted that it's done, and you receive only notifications for those groups that you have selected. By default, they are all disabled. So by default, you're not receiving any notifications. In the settings, you have also a little tab, My Activities. So you can see the recent activities or the last 5 days activities or 7 days activities. So that's just another way of getting updated on what happened. And then you have also notifications, the same feature for notifications. You can have the most recent, last 5 notifications, 7 days or 30 days notifications. So in the settings, you are also able to post a picture of yourself, which will look much better than mine at the moment. And then you can at any moment update your picture or just remove your picture if you wish to remove the picture. So that's something new. In the past, you could post a picture, but once it was posted, you could only update it. You could never remove it. So that's already something that is new compared to before. You can now remove your picture. Then we're going back on the dashboard, and we're going to see another interesting card, which is my favorite. So my favorite is allowing you to put some groups. If you have a workspace where you have access, reading access, for example, to many groups, but you're only interested to go and work in some of those groups, not all of them, you can add them to your favorites, and so you can easily access them at any moment by the favorite cards, the little star here on the left hand side, or even the little star on the top right hand side. It's leading you as well to your favorites. So it's really easy to access your favorites from here. You just click on the link and you just arrive on that TC or SC workspace you have chosen. So how to add one of the groups to your favorites is just simply here, clicking the little star favorite. So if it's blank, then it's no longer in your favorite, and if it's yellow, then it's in your favorite, and you can find it. If you go to your list, you can find it in your list of favorites, and you can as well remove here favorites with the little cross if you want to remove a group that is no longer needed as a favorite. This is a test platform, so it's acting funny sometimes. And as well, you can filter if one day your favorites are becoming really big and it's becoming inconvenient to scroll down to find those groups you want to work in. You can always filter. For example, if I filter on 9x, it's only showing those groups with the 9x in the reference of the group. So that's also an interesting feature if you want to reduce the number of items shown on the screen when you want to access a group. So that's for the favorites. All columns are sortable, so you can go and sort your list of favorites however you wish as well. Then we're going back to my dashboard, and we will see something that is new, which is the information card. For this, I will go to the production platform because it's empty in test. And here in the information card, you can find all kind of guidance information on the platform itself. For example, you can see that on the 20th of March, there was a new release of the platform. You can read what was changed compared to the previous version, what was improved for each category. Then you've got also a little tab user guide, and in there you've got the full user guide that can be also found on the little question mark. But you can also go to the user guide for specific items. So for example, if you want to go for documents, you can, instead of opening the whole PDF and browsing through the PDF, you can access it from here. It's been split in different parts, and if you say, for example, I want to upload a document, instead of browsing the whole PDF, once it's loaded, it's showing you that page that you are interested in. So it's still the full PDF. It's just that by using the little menu here and clicking on what you want, then the browser just shows that page you're interested in, so you don't need to browse yourself anymore, which is quite a nice feature, I think. So that's for the newest card, the information card. Then we have in the middle here on my screen 3 other cards, which are my documents, my discussions, and my tasks. So my documents and my discussions, they're a different way of browsing through the platform and finding something that you have yourself posted. So if I go to my documents, it's everything that I have posted myself, basically. So it's just, for example, if you're looking for something and you know that it was you posted the document, then you can access it via this card, and you can see, you can sort them by date, or you can sort them by size, by workspace, if you know it's in a specific workspace, or even the type name of the document. So it's just a different way of looking for a document, basically. So it's depending on what you're looking at one point, and it's offering you that option as well. So we have the same, more or less the same feature for discussions. So it's my discussions, the one I have posted, started, and then again you can, it's giving you the tag. So for those who follow the training after the migration, so I had explained that the discussions have a different tag. So you have a tag for the documents if it's a discussion on a document. We will see it a bit later. You have a tag for the legacy tag, which is things that were migrated from the old collaboration tools. So the tag is there. You have the workspace, you have the name, you know, the number of posts, and you can see if there's an attachment to the discussion, and also you have the date. So you can also use as well, there's always a filter that you can use, which could be interesting. So if I type beginning of test, I only have one discussion that's called test, and only that one is showing on the screen. So it's the same as for my documents tab. It's a different way of browsing through the platform and finding what you need to find. Then next we have my tasks. So again, these are tasks that were assigned to me. So we haven't had, this is something completely new that didn't exist on the collaboration tools. So it's the tasks, we will see them a little bit later, how to use them and how they can be interesting or maybe not. But here again, this is my task is what was assigned to me. So it's an easy way if you're using those tasks to find for yourself, okay, what do I need to do? For example, if work is allocated within the group, everyone needs to do something different, and then it's giving you all the relevant information, so the priority, the status. You can do some actions on the task, and your deadline, and who's the owner of the task, and it was assigned, and that it was assigned to you. So the same, if you have many, you've got different filters, so you can check for the priority, the status, or you can also use the filter here by typing something in the task. Here there's only one, so it's not going to be of much use. But if you type in a word that's in the name of the task, then it can help you reduce the amount of tasks shown on your screen. And then you can also change the view. You can have a task board if you wish to have a task board. So that's something completely new on the new collaboration platform. I haven't heard yet if people were using it, if they were happy or not, but we still have plenty of time to play with it. So next, we've got these 2 cards left. So you can see, in my case, I only have the CENELEC one, so the CENELEC workspace. But if you have also the IC workspace and your national workspace, that's just a quick way to go directly. If you know that you're going to a CENELEC group, then you just click on the CENELEC card and you will be directly into the CENELEC workspace. The difference with the My Workspaces is that if you have several, then it will just give you all workspaces. So you can see here I've got, even though I don't have a IEC card, I still have 2 IEC groups just to show the difference. So if I go to My Workspaces, and if you have different workspaces, the CENELEC, the IC, and or the national one, then not all workspaces are shown if you choose this card, but you can still as well reduce it to one or the other workspaces using the little drop down menu here. So that's just to go directly to the CENELEC workspace, and this is to go to all your workspaces. And then once you are in a workspace, then you have also, so you can see what groups you have accesses to. So this is a test platform, so there's only a couple of groups that were there just for a presentation purpose. And you have also some small options. So for example, you can ask to show the disbanded groups or not. So it depends if you need to see them or if you don't. Then you can, if you don't need to see them, then you can uncheck the box and then they're not seen, and then you gain a little bit of space on your in those lists of TC if you have many. And then you can also choose to have your workspaces with all the different groups showing as cards, just like it's done on the dashboard. So if you prefer the card view, you can choose the card view, or you can choose the list view. So this is just a different way of arranging your workspace to make it more comfortable for yourself. So now that we are in a CENELEC workspace, I will go through TC workspace as well. First, we'll see how to navigate to that group workspace because it's a little bit different from IEC. So if I unfold the TC9X, you can see that I have another TC9X under this, and now we'll unfold the SC9XA because that's where I will go. And you can see that I've got under SC9XA, I've got a second SC9XA. It may be a bit confusing at the beginning, but really the interest of this is it was for access purposes. So what happened is with this platform, everyone having access, for example, to a working group, if we didn't have that extra layer, would have access to all the groups above that working group, so whether a subcommittee or the technical committee, with their most powerful access. which means that if they are a member, for example, in a working group, so they can create folders, post documents, they can delete their folders and documents, they would be able to do the same in the subcommittee above this working group or in the technical committee above the working group. So it is not desirable in all cases. Sometimes you want to have someone that can be doing work in a working group, but you only want them to have a read-only access to the technical committee, for example. So this was only possible by adding an extra layer. And this extra layer is, we understand, maybe a bit bothering for the user that needs to navigate to the layers, which is why the use of the favorites may be interesting. But this is the only way we had to separate accesses and be able to have people having their access to work in the groups they need, and also allow national committees to decide who can have a write access, who can have a read access, and where. So that's the purpose of these all these layers. So that's for the workspace and all the environment outside a technical committee. So now what I'm going to do, I will go to the SC9XA workspace, and we will see what can be found in the workspace. So first I will go to the first layer, and here you will see that I've got 0 documents and 0 discussions. So basically this layer is empty. The only thing that we have is the other sub-workspaces to SC9XA, including SC9XA workspace. So here, if you would post something in here, everyone can use their most powerful access in this layer, basically. So that's the place where it's not manageable to have someone in a working group with writing access, and in this space with the reading access only. So for that purpose, there's the extra layer. So we're going again 1 layer down into SC9XA. And here you can see that all the documents and discussions are posted. You can see that I've been playing with the platform this morning. And here, if you wish to have people that only have a reading access, where they have a writing access in another group, that is possible. So it's here that the accesses can be separated. So all the documents are posted here, so you can see there's the tabs on top, or you can use the tabs here on the screen. So you have all documents, all discussions, and then you have the tasks. So you can see that there's no more workspaces. So we've gone as far down as we could. And you can see also a members list. So first we will go here on the first page of the dashboard. You can find again documents, discussions, sub-workspaces and tasks here. And you can also see activities. So if you want to see what happened last week, for example, you can show the last 7 days activities. It's just a way to see, okay, maybe you're expecting something to be posted, and that's just a quick way to see was it posted or not. You can go back up to 30 days, which is just a full month, so I think quite interesting. Then you've got here, I've told already, the favorites, that you can put your group in the favorites or not. And then what we will do, we'll go into the documents. So first, when you enter, you have already, so here in the documents, a first folder is the same for all technical committees at the moment, which is all documents. So here we can already have some action done. So for example, you can see that happened when we moved to the new platform. All kind of references were put on folders where they shouldn't have been, and because everything was moved automatically. So to allow us or TC secretaries, officers to do some cleaning. We've added an action to the folder, which is edit folder. So we click on it, and there you can change the name of the folder. So most of the folders, the first one when you enter in document is just called all documents. And then you can either change the reference, or if you don't need it, you can just remove the reference. There's no need to have a reference. I've seen that some TC have added something like a little word like all TC9X documents are there, for example. So just to guide people, and you can see, and then so that people can, okay, they click and they find a folder and no documents, and so they've got that little small word to tell them you need to go into the folder. So that's what we have here. So we are advising people not to post anything here, just to leave the all documents folder and then just go inside. So for that purpose, I've posted wrongly a document here to show that if ever in your TC where people got things wrong or they don't know, and you think, okay, this is becoming a bit too chaotic, I want to clean it, and you can easily select this one, and then when you select the document, you've got different options. You can move it, notify it, download it. In this case, I will just show you that I can delete it, and I delete the document. So now my area is clean. Be careful that you have these actions also delete and move on your old documents folder. So be careful when you click here to not delete your old document folder. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go inside here, and then I will use some of the documents here in the test platform to show you the options that we have to navigate surf through this platform. So first of all, you have all the files are stored at the top of the column. So it's just like a browser, any other browser. When you go to your Internet Explorer, you've got your folders and then your files. So here it's the same. It's just all folders, and then when you go to the bottom, all the files. So you've got here a little select all files, which you can use if you want to select all the files under the folders. It's not working on the folders. We've made a request several times to AEC. Hopefully one day we can have that feature. So this is for selecting all the files only. So here you've got all the headers. That can be you can sort your workspace, and it's remembering it. So earlier this morning, I've sorted on date modified to find what I had just created for my presentation, and I've left it on date modified, and it's still there on date modified. So you can also use sort by deadline and by owner if you're looking for a specific person. What you can also do is use this filter here, and if you know really exactly what you're looking for example, it's something that's called presentation, then you can use the filter, and then you will have everything that's called pres that's showing up on your screen. So you can see I've got a folder here, and I've got a file under, and you can see so that we have a presentation folder and a presentation file. Now if I remove the filter, then it's coming back to how it was before that. So that's for the really big workspace. I'm going to go into a smaller one because ST9X is quite big, so we want to have some use some of the features on the platform. So I'm just going to go to a smaller folder. So inside, I've put another folder, and here inside this folder I have a document, and I decide that it's not the correct place, so I need to move it. So you can see that when you select a document, or we will see how when we select several documents a bit later, you have options. First is telling you how many are selected, which could be handy if you've got a long list of documents and you know I've got to select 10, and you're selecting and then you don't remember how many did I select already. So that is telling you, and then it's telling you what you can do. Here on the top menu, and if you've got a really long list, these little icons are following you down the screen. So you can always see them when you go up and down. And so the first action I'm going to do, I will move this document one layer above. So I want to I want it to go into the presentation folder. So I'm going to choose all documents, because inside all documents is my presentation folder. And there I have it on top. I choose this. If I want to go further down, I can still go further down if there's more. But here I want to move it into presentation. So now I have here inside my presentations folder, I've got my folder that was there already, and I've got a file together. So now you can see if I click here, I only select the file, not the folder. If I go inside my presentation folder, it's empty because I've just removed the file. So same the other way around. For example, I decide that actually I dropped it at the wrong place. Here I'm inside presentation and my folder is also inside presentation, so I can select it directly and I can move it. And then you can see inside presentation we have the folder and inside we have the file. So that's for moving. Some of my colleagues have reported a bug that we found when moving files. They moved the file, it was moved into the new location, it was still there into the old location, and so she just thought I'm going to delete it into the old location, which deleted both occurrences. So just be careful when you move things. Here it's been working fine, but I've had colleagues reporting an issue with this. So if you're facing that issue as well, just don't go deleting. Maybe if you find 2 occurrences, maybe just keep them. Check if refreshing helps, and if not, please report it to us so that we can report it to IEC and show them examples of this bug happening. So now, what can we do on document again as well? We can upload document. So I will do that. I will upload document. So I will open the upload wizard. There you can drag and drop something that is on your desktop or wherever, or you can go and select a file. So that is what I will do. I will go and select a file. So I will navigate back and find my examples. Here they are. So I will just select a PDF, for example, and then it's done. My PDF is uploaded, and then I will describe the document. So here we have a CENELEC document, so that's coming by default. Then I need to give it a title. That's something mandatory. I can or not give it a deadline. So it depends if it's something that requires an answer. So let's say that I give it a deadline. Then I can choose the document type. So you have a drop-down list for with all the types. And if you have done your file naming correctly, so with that convention that exists in CENELEC, which used to be a circular and is, I think, now available on the CENELEC bus. If you've done your file naming correctly, then the tool is giving you the reference, which is mandatory. The tool is giving it to you by default, which is quite interesting. So you don't need to type it twice, basically. If you've done your file naming, then that's done, and the reference will fill in itself automatically. And then you can just describe if needed. That's not a compulsory field. And then you confirm that you have posted your document, and then you can you have then two options: finish or notify. So if you just posted, really urgent, everyone needs to know, I'll click on finish and notify. I'm not going to click on finish and notify here because it's the test area. There's no notification, so it will crash the platform. So I'm just going to choose the other option, finish and close. And my document is posted. So now that I have my document posted, I've given it a deadline, which I see is not appearing. So I will go back once, maybe when I come back, it's there. My deadline is there now. It just needs a bit of refreshing. So now that I have my deadline, I can see that I have as well different actions on the document. So let's say this has a deadline. I need to reply. I want to download the document because I want to read it on my laptop and I will be offline, for example. Or I want to know the view files, the details of the file. See, I've posted my file, for example, and I have made a mistake. So what should I do? And I can edit the metadata, and I can change the title, for example. I got the title wrong. I'm changing the title. So that you can do. You can also add a new version. So for example, I've posted something. It's been there for 10 days. So people probably have read it already. So I will add a new version. So it's the same principle as uploading a document. So you need to select a file. We will say that, for example, this is my new version. So I'm posting it. And then when I've posted my new version, I need to say what's changed. Okay, for example, question 3 is not different. So people know where to look, what's different. And you can say it's minor or it's major. So let's say I have to change the whole question. So I would say it's major. And then I can save and I can check and confirm my new version. And I can close this. And then you can see here, it says version 2. So if you have gone onto the platform and if you've seen your document and read it, and then, 1 week later, you see version 2, oops, I need to read again. And so when you read version 2, you will be able to see the metadata of the document. You can do a preview, you can do a download, and you can check the history. It's changed, but what is changed? Maybe it's not something I need to read. It's some question 3. Okay, I need to read it. So that's something that can be really interesting, and there's not so much pressure as to not get things right in the very first place. And you can also preview the document if you want to see. You don't need to download it, you just want to have a quick look and see. So you can preview the document. It's just opening an online version. And then you can as well start a discussion on the document. For example, we can take the case of this document where someone needs to reply to this document. I start a discussion on the document. So I create a new topic and I say it's a consultation, for example, and I say to people, please reply by the deadline. And then I create my topic on the document. And then now let's say I'm one of the person who needs to read and reply, and I check the document and there's a deadline, and I have a discussion. I can open the discussion and I can see the discussion that says please reply by the deadline. So I'm thinking I would reply. So let's say that it's my reply, and then I want to attach actually the document. I just don't want to write my reply. I want to attach the document. So here we've got several options. Or you can browse and take a document that is already on the platform. So let's say I've posted my reply first, but then I want to attach it to the discussion. So to make sure that there's different way to find a reply. It's there, it's got, it doesn't here, but let's assume it's got the same reference just with my country as the document posted. And I just want to make sure it's not going to be lost or was asked you to put in a reply. So I choose this because it's already posted on the platform, so that's really easy. And then I just confirm this is what I want to post, and I reply. So that's a first way of replying. First, using the upload button, uploading your document in the space where it should be, and then in the discussion, go and find the discussion and upload what is already on the platform. Or what you can also do is write your reply, and then there it says upload new file. So there you've got again the wizard to upload, and you can drag and drop or select a file. So I go to select my file, and then I go to describe it. There's no deadline because I'm replaying. I'm choosing my document type. I've named my file properly, so my reference is going in correctly. I don't need the description because I'm doing a discussion, so I've already explained in the discussion. I confirm, and then I confirm my document is attached, and I reply. So this is how to use the discussion, for example, if you want to reply to a document. It's not something that is compulsory. It's just one way of doing it. There's several ways. Some groups are using the references, and everything is in one main big folder, but they use the references to find documents. Some groups, they prefer to have a folder for each document that's need a reply and group everything in there. Or some groups, they want to have a discussion. So there's different way. It's just a matter of choosing how you do it, and explaining to your user how you want it to be done in the workspace you are managing. So here we've got a discussion triggered. We can see that we can modify it, we can delete it, and as well, this is our main discussion. So this is where you reply to the discussion. Sorry, this is where the blue button, sorry, where you reply to the discussion. You can also notify the discussion to say people, oh, I've started the discussion, you need to get involved. And as well, if you're having a discussion, not necessarily on a document, it's possible to use discussions for anything. For example, you need a quick consultation on something within your group. There's no time to meet. There's no time to set up a GoToMeeting. You can use this, for example, as a tool. And you can as well reply to one of the replies of the discussion. So there's the main topic of the discussion. People are replying, giving their opinion, and let's say, oh, actually, what these people said, it's actually, I agree, I fully agree, and I think that and that and that. And you can also do a reply to one of the specific posts in the discussion. So it can be something interesting to use on a document or on a task, or just as a free discussion. So that's for the uploading of a document. And so we've seen the little actions. We can view the details of the file, we can change them, we can add a new version, you can preview the document, you can start a discussion. So you can see it's white when there's no discussion, then it's grayed and with a little number when there's a discussion. And also you can download the document. So the difference is if you click on this button, it's only downloading that document. If you click here, it's downloading everything. You can choose to remove one, for example, or if you need to unselect everything, you can just go select, unselect. So that's just different way of accessing things, different way of doing things. So that's quite interesting, I think. Just one thing on documents, if you start a discussion. So if you need to reply to a specific discussion, you need to select that discussion. Because if you do a back to topic, if you do new topic, then you're creating a new discussion. On the same document. Now we have two different topics. And then if I go here, there's two different discussions ongoing on the same document. Now you can imagine that this is also useful to know how many replies you received. You could say, I want everyone to create a new topic with their replies so that when I go, I can see the little icon discussions and I can see I've got 2 replies already, for example. It's just something to try and test. And it's just ideas I'm giving from my use of the platform and from what I've heard. But everyone is really free to do however they want. So that's it for the tab documents. You can of course delete documents and download documents. So if you're downloading several documents, it's making a zip file. You see, you can have a zip file with all the documents, and you can also notify documents. So it's just click, and then you are in the notifications on the document. I will go a bit more in detail on notifications after. So next is the discussions. So as explained earlier, we have the legacy discussions that were migrated from the collaboration tools. So you can view all, you can view discussions on document only. You can see the discussions I've just created. They can be found here as well, because again, you can find them directly on the document, or you can find them here in the discussion area, and then you can access them, and then you can see who's replied, what they replied. You can access the attachment as well. So you can see only the legacy discussions, or you can see discussions on tasks. So there's not. You can also start a new discussion if you've got the whole document. So you can start a new topic if it's not attached to a document, a task, or anything. And also you've got this little icon that's following you down the screen. If you are browsing and think, oh, I should not forget to start this discussion, you can just click on the little pencil. And next we have the tasks. So the task is something completely new, as I said earlier, to be used or not. It's really there. So I think it's free for people to try them. So it's really easy to use. You can just create a new task, and then you can give it a title, and then you describe what you want to be done, and then you give it a priority, high, and then you give it a deadline, quick, and then you can either look for a person. I'm looking for one of my colleagues, assigning to one of my colleagues a task, which is making a custom list, or you can remove this. You can choose assign the task to a whole group. So see in blue, that group you should be assigning the task to, because we are within SC9XA, then the task should be assigned to this group. I'm not sure if it'd be interesting for SC9XA to assign tasks to TC9X. You can, so it's just different features. So you can, I'm gonna put back my colleague in there. You can attach a document. So it's also same principle. So you go, see, I clicked on attach document, and it's driving me to all documents. So there I can choose my document, this, and okay, I'm sorry, that is not working in the test area. Oh well. my task is still here. I just can't attach the document. I will check if it's working fine on the production platform. If not, I will contact IDC. And then one is done. So you can always see here how many people were assigned. It's just a little number that can be handy. And then you create the task, which is okay. The deadline is mandatory. That was changed. It's giving you a little error message. Okay, it's just deleted everything I've done, so that's fine. I'll just redo it and create the task, and this time it worked. So you can see that the priority is low, it's still to do, so you can see the information, you can delete it, you can start the discussion on the task, you can see the deadline, who's the owner, and who it was assigned to. So now if we go back, for example, here to my task, you can see that here in my task is only what was assigned to me, not what I have created myself. So that's something interesting to know. So it means you can use the cards my task to see what you have to do, not what other people have to do. So I'm going to go back now to my TC9X. We've seen the task briefly. I think it's quite easy to use, but if you are having difficulties, please do not hesitate to contact us. As I said, there's no more sub-workspace. We've gone all the way down to the bottom. And the last one is the members list. So here you can see all the members under TC9X, SC9XA, and the groups below. So you've got all the members for SC9XA, but you can also see if they're part of a working group. It's giving you, of course, you can select them. It's giving you their name, their country, organizations, their roles. So is the group and the roles they have in the group. So you can see, for example, here we have one person, they're a national participant in the SC, and they're a member in the working group. So here you've got as well different filters. For example, you want to notify something to one group only, then you can select that one group. Be careful that people feel like pressing here to close the menu, but it's actually the clear filter. So if you want to close the menu, you need to click back on the little arrow. So you can see here we've got people selected for working group 14, and you can see all their roles in other working groups. If I clear now my filter, clear filter, close it. It's no longer closing. Okay. You can filter as well on the roles. So we have, for example, I want to see who are all the observers in this group. I can check because I want to contact them for whatever reason. I need to contact observers. So you can see the observers. And if you want to notify them about something specific or you need to contact them, you can select. It's telling you 8 people were selected, and then you can notify these 8 people. So it's just the usual form for notification. So you give a subject, you write your message. It's a custom list because we didn't choose a full group, which is SC9XA. We've customized the list, and there you can see all the names, and you can remove or add people and say that, oh, actually this person already got the message. You can add another person. For example, I need to add my colleague in the loop. You can remove all, and you can attach document. You can you've got all sorts of formatting as well. So, and send the notification once you have decided what to do. From the notification, you can as well change. You decide, no, actually I need to send to everyone, and you can choose the group here. There's many people, so I'm not going to click on the icon. And that's it. Really, it's really easy to use, I think, to create your notification to your members. I can no longer close it. It's closed. but I will show you in the presentation what we've seen now. But you can also filter. There's a field filter that you have as well. Okay, we're back in the members. Here, if you know, oh, I'm looking someone, that person is called Thierry, but I don't remember their family name. You can put all the Thierrys on the screen and make your pick. So that's also something that's interesting. You have the full number of people as well. And then if you select, you know, you can see I've selected so many people. I think that's it really for the whole the features and the options that are available on the platform. So I will go back to my presentation and see if I haven't forgotten anything. So we've seen the whole dashboard and we've seen what's behind all those cards. The menu. Yes, I've forgotten here, you've got a search groups on top of your dashboard. So this is a search to all the groups. So for example, if I was searching for anything on the TC1, TC9X, you can just type 9X and then we will give you all the groups 9X. If you've got several workspaces, it will give you as well the CENELEC groups, the IC groups, and the national groups as well. So we've gone through my settings, see how you can arrange your workspace and make it perhaps a bit more comfortable if you're going to use it really often. Also with the favorites, how you can put some groups in your favorites, how you can remove some groups from your favorites, and how you can sort the columns and filter as well in your favorites. Then in my documents, so they're the documents I have posted myself. So that's another way to find something on the platform. You can as well filter on the documents and you can sort all the columns. Then we have the same space for the discussions. The discussions you have posted are in my discussions tab, and you can as well filter them and sort all the columns. Then we've gone to the dashboard, the workspace, where you can choose to have the groups in a list view or a card view. You can choose one of the workspace, or you can access it directly from the cards from the organization, and how you need to navigate through the different layers to find the documents in your workspace. Then we've seen the newest card, the information, with a space where the release, you've got information on the latest release, and where you can find the user guide and navigate in a really easy way to what you're looking for in the user guide. So if you need to find something on the members, then you can just click and the PDF guide will open where it's interesting for you. Then we've gone to a TC workspace dashboard. So we've seen that you can see the activities on the dashboard. We've gone through the different tabs, how you can add that workspace in your favorites if needed. And then we've gone inside the workspace itself for the document. So we've seen how to create a folder, upload, download, notify, move documents or delete them. There's also an icon to create a new document. So you can create a document directly on the collaboration platform. It's online. The document is it's just a form with the document that you can open and try and play with it. At the moment, there's a template for IEC report. We haven't put up yet the template for a CENELEC report, but it's the plan to put the template as soon as we can. So we've seen the different actions on the document, how you can do them from the top, or how the little icons, the round one, will follow you down the screens, how you can have some actions directly on the document without selecting the document. And then we've seen also the discussions, where they can be found, how to create them, how to reply to them, and some ideas on how to use them. Then we've seen inside the discussion how you can see the attachment, do the attachment, reply to the discussion, or reply to a specific point in the discussion flow. And then finally, we've seen the TC workspace, the members list, how you can sort them, choose who you want to notify or who you want to see in your list. And as well, if you just remember the first name of the person, for example, how you can use the filter to try and find information. So I think we've gone through the whole platform. So the webinar will be available on the CENELEC website as usual. There should be a list as well with all the differences between the collaboration tools and the new collaboration platform that was posted. And you can find also interesting webinars on the IEC Academy space, where they've also posted trainings and webinars on this platform. So it could be interesting. And so you can also find a user guide directly on the collaboration platform. So it used to be on the little question mark left bottom of the screen. So you now have that new information card, which is quite nice to use. And if you ever have any issues, any worries, if you find any bug, please do report them to us. We're still compiling a list of different things, features we would like to see if it's not possible to have them, bugs that needs to be fixed, and so such things. We're still compiling a list. We're still communicating with IEC as much as we can. So do send us an email to IT support. So behind that email address is myself, Elisa Matarase, and Sven de Bolster. So with 3 people who can reply you, help you if you have an issue. So please do not hesitate to contact us.